So my wife brought me out this picture here. She wants me to build her a little shelf for her ribbons. That's what I got, 32 by 36 with 8 shelves, which wouldn't divide out very well with 4 inches between them. So I'm gonna put this together. Basically what I did is I got some 1 by 4 by 8s. So I'm gonna cut her dimensions out of there, and once I put the square together, then I'm gonna figure out how many shelves I can get in there realistically. I think she's got 4 inches between the shelves, so I'm probably gonna end up with 7 shelves instead of 8. So what I did is I cut off 2 32-inch boards, 2 36-inch boards. I'm basically gonna make a square, and then I'm gonna measure in between them, and then I'm gonna put some shelves into it. Pretty simple project. Okay, to secure these ends, these corners, I'm gonna use an 1¼ screw, or 1¾ screw, sorry. I'm going to just put a bead of glue on the end, 1¾ screw. I'm going to pre-drill these because I don't want to split the wood, and I'm going to countersink them, and I'll fill the holes with wood putty and then sand them once I get done. So I've got my frame screwed together. So I got my frame all put together here. I measured the inside dimensions of 34.5 inches across. So I'm gonna start cutting shelves. I'm gonna cut 7 shelves over here on my chop saw at 34.5 inches. Now when I test fit these, I did it at the bottom or at the top, whichever side switch, because I want to make sure if the middle here is flexed or bowed any, because again, this is not premium wood. There's some flexing and some bowing in here. I want to make sure I do it at the ends. That way as I go up, I can correct these boards as I go up, and all my shelves will still be the same exact length. So I'm going to go ahead and chop off about 5 more of those, and we'll start putting them in place. So I've got my shelves cut out. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each end, and I'm just going to put 2 screws in them. I'm going to countersink the screws a little bit and then fill them with wood putty, sand them so you can't see the screws anymore. I need to take some measurements and make sure I get my shelves in the same spot. So I'm going to basically take this, divide it in half, and then just start laying out the board so they're evenly spaced all the way down through. So once I figured out my spacing for my shelves, yours will probably be different, but once you figure it out, I figured I got 4 3/4 inch between all these to make them even. So I just cut off 2 4 3/4 inch blocks. I can put these in place now, slide my shelf down through it if it doesn't fall off the table, and then just screw it in using these as templates. So one more thing I'm doing here is I'm using my spacer. I got a clamp, just snugging this up to where it's even on both sides. That saved me having to flip it back and forth. Keep my face side out so I can make sure I flush these out on the ends. So here's my rack. This is my front. I'll spin around to the back. I want to hang this using a French cleat. French cleat's pretty easy to make. I've cut this down to about 2.5 inches wide. And I cut a 45-degree angle on the back. I'm gonna cut this the width of my opening here. I'm gonna put this 45 facing this way. I'll cut another one for the wall. We mount one to the wall, which is actually faced away from you. The one on here will actually catch that in there, and that's what will hang our cabinet. So there's my French cleat on the back. Basically, I put 1 screw on each end of it. I glued the top board, and I've just got some clamps on to help the glue dry. If you wanted to, you don't have to really glue. You could just take some screws and shoot down through there, or you could do both if you wanted to. Since this is just going to have ribbon hanging on it, nothing heavy, I'm not too worried about it falling apart. So I've got my rack. I just lift it up above the part, and when I set it down, it'll grab that cleat, and it won't go anywhere. And then I can slide it left or right. I left enough room in the cleat that I can adjust it a little bit. And that's all there is to it.